Fine, go for it.
Galen, Scott Agnes, Fieldhouse Files. I'm just curious, what was it like to have that competitive juices?
Damn. Head down. Like, damn.
Okay, so that just happened. Did you catch it? Head down, refusing to even look at him, and that little oh goodness at the end? That's not awkward small talk. That's the reaction of someone who genuinely cannot tolerate being in the same space as you. And here's the crazy part. This isn't some random journalist. This is Scott Agnes, the full-time Indiana Fever reporter, the guy whose job depends on maintaining the strongest relationship with the team's star player. So the real question is, what did he do that made Caitlin Clark physically pull away the moment she heard his voice? Because by the time we break down these clips, you'll understand exactly why the most electric rookie in WNBA history wants absolutely nothing to do with him. And trust me, this goes way deeper than bad vibes.
Collins from Visit St. Pete Clearwater over here. Hi, great job out there.
Damn! Look at that. Look at Look at that smile. Laying up like a Christmas tree.
Today, just wanted to ask you if you and your teammates got to do anything fun in the St. Pete Clearwater.
Look at that, dude. The whole entire time.
Let me show you something first. This is Caitlin at the same event, same day, answering another set of questions. Look at her energy here. That smile, completely genuine. She's making perfect eye contact the whole time. She's leaning forward, engaged, acting like she's talking to a longtime friend. And here's the kicker, she's never even met this reporter before. This is just a representative from the local tourism board asking soft, feel-good questions about St. Petersburg's beaches. Zero history, zero relationship, yet maximum warmth.
I mean, like, these are the things that you love, like being competitive, and, you know, even when I go out and play with family or friends or whoever, like, you make it competitive. Like, you don't just go out there and hit the ball. Like, you make a game out of it. You know, you do have a 2v2, you do whatever. And I think that's what the fun part about golf. And you know, really with anything I do in life, I'm pretty competitive. So I probably wouldn't play golf if I didn't feel those competitive juices flowing. So I think that's certainly part of it that I love.
Now rewind to Scott Agnes, the guy who has covered her team all season. The reporter who should, in theory, have the strongest bond with her. Look at her expression as he speaks. No eye contact. She's staring at the floor while he asks his question, and when she finally answers, it's pure autopilot, professional, polished, but completely disconnected. It's the kind of response you give when you're mentally saying, please let this be over. The contrast is brutal. A random tourism rep gets bright smiles and family vacation stories. Scott Agnes, the beat writer who's supposed to be her media ally, gets treated like he just asked for her bank account number.
What is he doing here? I thought I got rid of you. I'm across the country, yet somehow, someway, you find yourself right here in front of me asking questions. Oh, goodness.
But here's what most people missed. This wasn't Caitlin having an off day. It wasn't exhaustion from the golf event. This was deliberate. This was controlled, and once you understand what Scott Agnes did during the Fever season, you'll see exactly why Caitlin Clark is sending him the coldest message possible. Without uttering a single word, let me break down the timeline. Because this tension started months ago.
I got here.
She treated her like she's the one that had been following the team around. Like, oh, buddy, oh, man. So nice to see you over here. Yeah, let me answer your question.
Late last night, and I'll be leaving once this press conference ends, but I actually grew up vacationing here. This is the city that my family always came, and I have a couple of family members that own places on the beach here in St. Petersburg. So like, this place is actually really special to me and my family, and it's really fun. Like, I was flying in and I was like making Lexi look out the window and like see everything, because she's from the West Coast, so obviously she didn't vacation on the East Coast. So this place is honestly really cool, and you know, I looked it up. It's like 30 minutes from where I have family, and I grew up coming here. I've been here many, many times, and it's a really special place. So it makes it even more fun coming back here and knowing that.
Positioning, he's around this team more than almost anyone who isn't on payroll. And during Caitlin's rookie year, the most hyped debut the WNBA has ever seen, Scott made two choices that completely burned his relationship with the franchise's biggest star. Decision number one, he labeled Caitlin Clark's fan base the dark side, not once, multiple times. He published articles and made remarks suggesting that the millions who followed Caitlin from Iowa to Indiana were somehow bringing negativity to the league. Think about that. You're the face of a franchise, breaking records, selling out arenas, pulling historic TV numbers. Your fans are passionate, loyal, spending huge money, and the main reporter covering your team is publicly calling them toxic. How do you think that lands with Caitlin while she's trying to navigate her first season? She's battling physical play, carrying expectations no one in women's basketball has ever faced. And the reporter who should be documenting her journey fairly is out here fueling division between her supporters and everyone else. But it gets worse, because what Scott did next crossed a line between journalism and outright sabotage. The Fever were intentionally keeping an injury quiet. Caitlyn had been dealing with an ankle issue, and the team made a strategic decision to keep that internal. This is completely normal in pro sports. You never hand extra information to opponents. You avoid distractions and you protect your athlete. Scott Agness chose to expose it anyway. He published details of Caitlyn's ankle problem behind a paywall, revealing information the organization deliberately wanted hidden, and the fallout was instant. Suddenly every outlet was debating whether Caitlyn should sit games. Fans were arguing about whether her health was being mismanaged. Opponents now had a roadmap to her physical vulnerability. One reporter's decision to chase engagement turned into a full-scale controversy that the Fever spent weeks trying to contain, and Caitlyn Clark was dropped right in the middle of it, answering non-stop questions about her body instead of just playing basketball. Now connect the dots. First, Scott alienates her entire fan base by calling them dark and toxic. Then he leaks protected medical information, creating even more chaos and backlash. And Caitlyn watches all of it. She sees how one reporter is making her life more difficult, not by asking tough, legitimate questions, but by creating pointless drama that benefits no one but his own article metrics. So, when Scott Agness pops up at a golf tournament in California, thousands of miles from Indiana, and Caitlyn suddenly sees him standing there with a microphone, of course you're going to get that reaction. That "why are you here? I thought I escaped you" energy. And honestly, she's earned the right to feel that way. What makes this even more interesting is the body language. Caitlyn Clark is trained at an elite level when it comes to media interactions. She's handled press rooms since she was a teenager at Iowa. She knows how to smile through uncomfortable moments. She knows how to give polished, diplomatic answers. She's a total professional. But with Scott Agness, she's choosing not to mask it. She's letting everyone see exactly where she stands. That's intentional. That's Caitlyn saying, "I'm not going to pretend everything's fine. I'm not going to help you grow by acting friendly. You caused problems and I'm letting that be known." Watch the clip again now that you know the full context. "What are you doing here? I thought I got rid of you. I'm in another state and somehow you show up right in front of me." That's not lighthearted banter, that's frustration she's barely keeping contained. And the way she mutters, "oh goodness," at the end is basically her taking a breath to remind herself to stay professional. She's visibly uncomfortable. You see it in her posture. You can hear it in her voice too. So let's talk about what this means for Scott Agness' career, because this moment has gone viral. Millions of people have now seen Caitlyn Clark recoil at the sight of him. As a reporter, his entire job depends on building trust, strengthening team relationships, and getting access to players. And the biggest star in women's basketball just showed the whole sports media world that she wants nothing to do with him. That's a reputation hit you don't bounce back from easily. Other players are watching this. Other organizations are seeing how he operates. And when you're a beat reporter who loses the trust of the franchise cornerstone, your access shrinks fast. Here's the wild part. Scott Agness probably believed he was simply doing his job. Breaking injury news? Standard journalism. Calling out fan behavior? He probably thought he was holding people accountable. But he completely misread the long-term consequences. He chose quick clicks and hot takes over preserving the relationships that actually give him real, meaningful access. And now he's paying for it in real time. Caitlyn's not giving him exclusives. She's not sharing personal stories. She's giving him the bare minimum the rules require, nothing beyond that.